Hey everyone, welcome back to Tapping Out. I'm Tim.
I'm Mario.
I'm Amy.
So we have a fun show for you guys today. Mario, you want to tell them what we're going to jump into today?
We're going to go into a Smackdown review, which was a lot better than Raw.
Yeah.
We're going to get into a random review from the Wheel Spin, which was 2016 Extreme Rules. And then we're going to get into some news, AEW, NXT, and most importantly, some Drew McIntyre information that we just received in the last couple days. So
yeah,
Our boy.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
We'll save that for last because I have a lot to say on that.
Yeah, and as always, definitely check out our TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, where we actually will be picking our random pay-per-views. So check that out if you kind of want to see what we're gonna pick.
What do you say? Let's get into Smackdown.
Let's jump on in.
So we started off hot, which, you know what? I feel like they knew they had to do it because there were rumors that there were going to, there would kind of be a takeover. Kind of like, when CM Punk left back in 2014, people were talking about, like hijacking the show. And,
or like the Yes Movement, like when they hijacked it with that.
Yeah. So, so we started off with Imperium against the Brawling Brutes.
Never a bad way to start a show.
Especially because the Imperium entrance, we get Samantha. So, always an elite.
We will always be.
Yep, I think, guys.
Samantha Stan.
Guys, it literally took us 3 minutes to get into Samantha Irvin talk on this show, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Because the way she announces Imperium is just, everybody, but just especially Imperium, it's a treat.
Oh yeah, same with the Brawling Brutes. She announced them well, but Imperium's just another level.
Yeah. So the match itself was very, very good. It's always going to be a good match when you have all Shady, Gunter, and even Ridge the Fridge,
Little
Butch, and
Well, it was nice to have the Brawling Brutes back too because he's been tag teaming with Drew for a while, so it was just good to see them back together again.
Oh yeah, it's always good to see the Brutes.
And most importantly, we actually got a Brawling Brutes win, which actually was kind of unexpected. I thought Imperium was definitely going to win, especially because of the role that Gunther's been on. But match itself was. I don't think it really moves anything currently. Because we've seen a lot of Sheamus and Gunther and stuff like that recently.
It was better than anything on Raw.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, I think they knew they had to start off with something good just to kind of keep the crowd tame. But I still think they should have tried, chanted Fire Fence anyway.
I agree. I agree too. I think there should have been those Fire Bench chants. I think that WWE need to put out like a Triple H card in order to make it so we can't be chanting that. I thought that match though. I thought kind of Ridge had a pretty good hot tag. I was like, wow, Ridge had a good reaction for that hot tag.
Yeah, like I said, I like Ridge. I just don't want to see him do any suplexes.
No.
But it still just kind of irked me about that Big E's hurt. It's not Ridge's fault, but
we miss Big E.
I do miss Big E. And
I wish he would have just come back for WrestleMania, to be with New Day, not even wrestle, just make an appearance. But then maybe he feels like there's an expectation, if he appears again, that he's gonna wrestle again, and maybe he's still not ready for that. But
and Big E has nothing to do with this match, but I just wanted to just say how much I kind of do miss Big E.
It's always important.
Ridge always makes me think of Big E because he's the one that injured him, which I don't like.
You love Ridge.
I do, but I don't appreciate that.
But I also don't appreciate all the threats Ridge gets too.
No.
I'm sure he didn't want.
Yeah, he didn't do it on purpose.
He probably feels absolutely horrible that he ruined his career.
And actually, but before we even jump into the next match, one thing that irked me still about this show, and I know we were all kind of losing it. We started off with 10 minutes of video packages.
Yeah.
And then we go into the video package from Raw, and I feel like a quarter of the show is video packages.
It's just stupid filler time. If it's a new one, fine, but it's just all the same ones that we've seen over and over.
So, who wants to get us into the backstage segment with Kevin and Sami?
I could jump into that. So we had Kevin and Sami talking, and then Sami saying that he's gonna be matching Shea Uso, and then Sami tells Kevin, he's like, hey, I need to go talk to Jay. And this was also after Jay kind of went to talk to Paul Heyman and said Jimmy wasn't there, but Solo's here. And then Paul kind of says, hey, if Jay doesn't solve this problem, then I'm going to need you to solve the problem. Really setting up for that kind of eventual bloodline fracturing. Kevin Owens said it was a bad idea the whole time. Shouts to Kevin.
But Sami can't let go though.
No.
He still has, him and Jay are still very, he's like, man, they're still close, even after all this.
Well, that's why he's a good character, because he still cares about Jay, even though everything that happened.
Yeah, it wouldn't really make sense if Sami just stopped caring, because that's not, like you said, not him. It's not him.
He's like, he's a family man,
Good
But
dude.
I also think they're using him as a reason for Jay to still break off eventually. It's not coming as quick as I thought. I thought WrestleMania, I thought Roman was going to lose, and then the Bloodline, but now I see they're playing the long game.
And I think it's going to be even better, exactly.
Yeah, they're playing the long game, but they're using Sami to make him kind of go back and forth on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that at the main event, but I have my thoughts on that as well.
Yeah.
I'm taking this one, if you don't mind.
We know yes.
Because I have a big issue with this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first say who it was.
Right, no, but we had Ricochet versus Ivar, which I was so glad to see Ivar in the singles match.
I know, see, when his graphic came up, I think you gasped when you saw his graphic come up saying Ivar was wrestling
You were
next.
crying tears of joy.
Wouldn't be the first time.
And shout out to Ivar and his body splash up against the ring apron. That was awesome.
Cool.
You always get good enough for that move. I love it.
That move.
That was very
But
cool.
I have a big issue with Ivar losing this match because Ricochet, sell out.
Yep.
Sell out.
Yep, hang with Buddy Braun.
I can't stand Ricochet. I can't. He does cool moves, but that's about it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Ivar, push the Viking Raiders. I've been saying it. You need to push the Viking
Push them.
Raiders. And this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. Ivar, good in the ring, cool gimmick, trained Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
He's, most importantly, trained Sasha Banks.
New England boy.
I just don't understand why Ricochet's boring, and I don't understand why they're having him win. What he's like one of those guys that's just going to be stuck around the mid card, for his whole career.
Yeah.
The Viking Raiders would be a perfect heel tag team.
Yep.
To compete against Sami and Kevin,
But
and they just lose every week, and they put on good matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, and I'll say it again. You put them in an opportunity in a big moment, against Sheamus and Drew. They delivered.
They shine.
Big match. Match. They can perform in a big match. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Valhalla's whatever. She's more of a meme, but Eric and Ivar are a great tag team.
Yeah. I just don't understand the point of her. I know she's their manager,
Yeah.
but she just stands there and interferes every time.
It's Eric's wife, so they're like, yeah, we gotta do something for her. But the match itself was good. What I didn't like though was that it's just Ricochet just
it was
gets Ivar, throws him
the
onto the ground.
Piranha, yeah.
And then that's it. Ivar doesn't put his knees up, doesn't move out of the way. He's no, match over, pal.
And once again, and you were saying it, but Ivar, that dude can work. That dude can jump off the rope. You were like, oh my god, this dude just did a springboard move,
And I think, I don't know, was it WrestleMania or whatever? I think he did attempt a shooting star press at one point too, which is wild for a guy his size.
Yeah.
And he could probably do it too.
Also, once again, shouts to Samantha for the Ivar entrance. She nailed that one. She always does well Ricochet because that's her fiance, but she always does a good Viking Raiders one too. So
she's just amazing.
yeah.
All right.
Want me to get us into this next match?
I will.
Amy,
You got Ames?
take this one.
So, Irrelevant, Natalya, and Shotzi versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. I mean, we all knew what the outcome was going to be. Obviously, Liv and Raquel won. I thought they were going to win at WrestleMania too. I still don't understand why they had Ronda win, but yeah, I mean, it was a women's match.
I mean, it's about what you expect with a match with Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi, Natalya. It's not going to be a barn burner.
No.
It's a waste of time in my opinion.
And to be
shout out to the tank though. I do like seeing the tank.
Yeah, that was cool that they both wrote it in the beginning. But...
Also, Shotzi calling them the ballsy baddies.
Oh, so cringy.
like when it was reported that Vince made minor tweaks to the script, that was definitely one of the tweaks he made. It's call them the ball, was it?
Ballsy baddies.
Ballsy baddies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
Even Shotzi looked like she didn't want to say it.
No. Also, why did this match have to happen? We knew they were gonna win. They're the number one contenders. They're wrestling for the titles on Monday. Did we really need a match?
It was a dumb filler match.
So I guess Natalya and Shotzi are now the relegated like jobber women's tag team now. Just gotta be tossed around.
Just to keep Natalya on TV.
Also, Shotzi took that Oblivion terribly.
Yeah.
That was brutal. Like come on.
Shotzi's she's horrible.
Yeah, she's
If she didn't have the tank, I mean, there would be nothing interesting about if she didn't have the tank.
Nothing redeeming.
And nothing redeeming about that match, so I say we've already spent too much time on it.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna get something good now. You want to take this one, bud? Little backstage segment?
So we had a backstage segment featuring Madcap Moss, which is very good.
I love Madcap. Hold on, real quick. I love Madcap Moss is hanging around with Xavier Woods now. It's, you know what? It's a perfect Madcap. You get him for, 2-3 minutes, just playing his games, doing his thing. Shouts to Madcap.
Then he was playing video games with Xavier Woods, who I liked up until the end of this segment. But most importantly, we finally got to see Mr. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
The megastar.
This man whose segment got cut at WrestleMania, so we could have 30 minutes of extra video packages showing the same things over and over again. We don't have time for that.
Or 30 mismatches?
Oh yeah, we could have Natalya and Shotzi on WrestleMania, but we can't get LA Knight on the show.
Shane
McMahon
McMahon
did that out too.
Shane McMahon, but no LA Knight.
I like that he's complaining. He's sticking up for himself because it's just ridiculous.
LA Knight, who's already been in The Rock. He's been in The Rock.
Yeah.
He's already been in The Rock.
Let you talk to him.
Yep. A star. And
yeah.
And if this is, and if they don't want to treat him like that, just leave. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
If we talked about Vince already.
Yep.
But if
the
Vince
chance he's gotten,
if Vince is truly in charge, LA Knight needs to leave.
Yeah.
He'll go shine somewhere else. Come on, Mr. Khan.
Yeah.
Go sign him.
Yep. Well, we're gonna get to who Mr. Khan should sign later too.
Maybe a few people.
But luckily next week it did set up for an Xavier Woods LA Knight match.
LA Knight's gotta win that match.
Yeah. Xavier doesn't need the win.
I think he's going to.
And LA Knight talking about. I'm sorry, Xavier Woods talking about LA Knight in that kind of tone. Concerning the things that Xavier Woods has done in his past, which you can go look up. I'm not endorsing it, but you can go look it up.
I think most people know by this point.
I don't appreciate that because Xavier Woods has no room to talk about anything.
I think my favorite part of the segment, not LA Knight related, was when Madcap Moss had to hold Xavier Woods back.
Madcap Moss, who got that number one contenders match against Gunther, is probably never going to wrestle a match on TV ever again.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is Madcap and Happy Corbin back together.
Actually, no, he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, right?
Yeah. Should have won. But we digress.
No.
I mean, Corbin was so over when he teamed with Madcap Moss. Now he's a joke, which is unfortunate. But maybe they should get him back together.
Hey, it's not like any of them are doing anything.
Yeah, I know. They don't have very compelling storylines right now.
I prefer Corbin team with somebody a little bit better than Madcap Moss, but...
But don't you want to save Corbin? We already know that gimmick works, so that was a good that was a good pair.
You're looking for a heel tag team. We got a heel tag team right there.
Who wants to get us? Tim, you want to take the big news from Mr. Paul Levesque?
Yep. So we get Uncle Hunter back in the ring, and I remember Cole saying something like he's running the place now. I don't know if that was just to placate the fans or if it was Cole going ad lib saying hey, don't worry, he's running the place. Because, we have our issues with Triple H, but, I think we enjoy the product better, and I think more importantly, the talent enjoys working for Hunter a lot better.
The morale is better.
Yeah, the morale's 100% better, so we're going to get into more of the Vince stuff, but go Hunter. But yeah, he comes out, just talks about how WrestleMania 39 did well, kind of going through that song and dance. And then we get some exciting news, though. We're getting the draft back in a couple weeks, so... maybe before the draft we'll get into some mock draft stuff like that and have some fun with it. But yeah,
I know who my number one pick would be.
Oh, well, that's why we'd be fighting over the number one pick. That'd be like Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck, number one pick without a doubt.
So was it that they used to do the drafts and then they stopped?
Yeah, they haven't done one I think 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But then
I've never seen it before, so I'm excited.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They did their first one 2002, then they did one 2004, then after 2004 they did one every year for 6-7 years. Stopped for a few years.
If you're gonna have the draft though, I don't know how you don't split the titles though. It doesn't make any sense to have a draft if you're not planning on splitting the titles because you can't have you can't have the undisputed champion just on one show. I mean, to be fair, Roman's on SmackDown 90% of the time anyways.
Yeah.
But it's still you have to split the tag titles and you have to split the undisputed titles too. Like you have
I don't think they can do that with Roman like that.
Not with Roman, but I don't know. I mean, do you think like USA or Fox is going to be okay with not having the world champion on TV at all on their show?
I read the rumors that they wanted to like just like combine the WWE Universal and then just make like and bring back like the big gold belt and like make like a World Heavyweight Championship.
So like the secondary. That title was always it's kind of a joke though. So
yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's what most of our favorites ended up winning. Big Mark, Dolph, Christian, Mr. Hager.
The disrespect.
So to us, that's the premier title.
Yeah.
But to the company, it's a secondary title. But I just want more titles in general to kind of give more guys opportunities.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like I know like AEW sometimes has too many titles, but you know I think it was another title or two wouldn't be a bad thing. Then Hunter, he introduces Rhea Ripley, and then Judgment Day comes out.
Oh, and most importantly, we get the Archer of Infamy, Mr. Damian Priest.
Every time the commercial for the Pope's Exorcist comes on, bring me the priest.
Bring me the priest.
That was good. I'm like, yeah, that's basically us. Bring me the priest.
So they came out and each kind of made their own little little speech. Dom was getting booed like
he got
loud. That was loud.
He got heat.
And actually,
have we established if we think that that's heel heat or like actual heat?
I think by this point it's heel heat.
I think it is too.
I think it started as go away heat, but now it's like wow, Dom's ripping.
But you know what? He actually handled it pretty well though.
He did too.
You know, because somebody like Ronda Rousey would get all flustered and start stuttering like.
Well, the thing is, he's good at making it work for him. Like, it's funny that he can be like this like weak heel character, but I just think it works. It's funny.
Also, shouts to Finn Balor, who we found out had like torn calf and needed 14 staples in his head.
I was so glad to see him.
And Edge wouldn't put him over still, even though Edge has won basically every major match of that feud except for Extreme Rules.
No Edge slander.
No, anyway. I'm slandering Edge. I don't care. And he injured Finn Balor. You know what? I know he said, he's injured people before, but this is a major.
And
injury.
he was clearly pissed at himself afterwards. He felt so
put
bad.
Him over. Put him over then. What do you put him over? I don't appreciate that. Yeah, we would have talked about it. But Edge needs to start putting people over. He's getting old. He's gonna retire soon. He didn't need that win. First you almost cracked Finn's skull open, and then you don't put him over.
Crack it open, and then stapled shut.
And then you bury the demon gimmick.
So
yeah,
Edge, blank. Sorry.
But do you want to know what I didn't like that we had to wait for? Who was the fourth person to talk in Judgment Day?
And he should have been. Honestly, he should have been
the whole time.
But another star who's being wasted.
Yep. But who wants to get us in this match we get?
So we got eventually into Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio.
I just want to make note. I made note of it yesterday that I know they brought back the Latino World Order thing, and I talked about it last time. Like, it just doesn't fit the current product. Like, having any sort of NWO, LWO thing in PG era just doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of cringy, actually. Because, NWO was all about, really reckless stuff and doing, really crazy things for TV and stuff like that. And, in the PG era, we don't get any of that stuff anymore. So I just want to make I think it's kind of cringy that they actually brought that back. Now, you want to go to TV 14 and bring back the LWO and have them do some, crazy stuff? I'm okay with that. But the PG era, nah. But the match itself was very good.
Well, on another note too, quick. It's just Legado their faction was already working. Like, why do you have to add the LWO on top of it? I don't think it makes sense.
Even if you wanted to have Rey just say, all right, I'm joining Legado, which also I wouldn't prefer, but
Legado has a leader in Santos who's way better than Rey.
Yeah.
So I actually don't appreciate them having to work for Rey now.
Well, now they're his goons.
I mean, I'm hoping this is just a short-term thing for...
It better be.
For them, so that way, that way Santos gets to work with one of his heroes, and then it's like, okay, now you go Legado do their own thing, because Legado in NXT was fire, and then you add Zelina Vega. There's so much story they can tell with Legado.
One of his heroes.
It depends on how many LWO t-shirts they sell.
If
it's not a lot, then they'll just go back to what they were doing before.
One of his heroes. Santos, my friend, you got to get some better role models if that's your hero, man. I like to make fun. I like to make jokes at Ray's expense. You know, the things in the past too, which we disagree on, but I digress.
Yep, but hey, the match itself, very good match, and well, the best part of it was
Damian Priest finally got a win.
We definitely thought, oh, Priest is taking the pin, right?
Yeah, we did not expect Judgment Day to win.
A little bit of South of Heaven.
He likes to be made, you know, they like to turn him into a joke like most of the people that we like, so I was actually very shocked that he got a win. Very deservingly so, by the way. So,
very
shout out to Damian.
Well, you were saying he was like the leader of Judgment Day, but then...
He's been the one that's been in it the longest.
But now it's just getting overshadowed by like the Dom and Ray drama. He's,
Damian should not be being overshadowed by Ray or Dominic.
No. He should be talking first. He should be walking a little bit ahead of them, like the leader that he is.
And I like Finn a lot, but Damian Priest should be the leader of Judgment Day because he's better than Finn too. So. And
unfortunately we're setting up for Damian Priest to lose at Backlash because it's gonna be Ray and Bad Bunny against Dominic and Damian, which is gonna be a fun match. Bad Bunny is like one of the better celebrity wrestlers at doing things like.
He actually puts on a good match.
Him, Logan Paul, and Pat McAfee are all up there with that, but seeing Damian lose is not going to be ideal.
I'm used to it now. I think we're all pretty much used to it.
Oh yeah, and then just real quick to notice, we had the whole Kevin Owens getting taken out by Solo thing.
Oh, I know.
But even before that, this was worthy of an announcement, which is shocking to me, that Shinsuke Nakamura is appearing next week. Listen. If Nakamura came back next week, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I didn't even notice that he was gone.
I think the last time we saw him was at the show we went to in November, and it was before the show.
Oh yeah, like pre-show match.
Yeah, the pre-show match. Him against one of the maximum male models.
Yeah. I mean, Nakamura is fine, but I mean, is that really worthy of like a big announcement like returning next week?
Well, you know what would have been hilarious is if they made it a surprise and it was like somebody needed a surprise partner because that's usually him. Like we always joke about that, but that would have been hilarious if they didn't announce it and then they were like, you just hear his music. Like,
that's one of our running jokes. It's always Nakamura or the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Even though I would have loved to hear Nakamura's music at the end of the night tonight, compared to what we ended up getting.
Yeah.
Aim, do you want to bring us to the main event?
Yeah, so the main event was Sami Zayn versus Shea Uso.
I mean, right before the match, Sami was talking with Jay, and saying like, you can get out of the bloodline, you can get out of the bloodline, you just, you have to see like what they're doing to you, Roman and Solo and Paul, they're all just kind of messing with your head and telling you lies, telling you things you want to hear, but they're really all going to turn on you. There's a way out of it. And during the conversation, they hear some commotion. They run over there. Kevin Owens has like one of those carts on his leg.
Yeah. You started laughing so hard.
I don't know why I found that so funny. It's not. I just don't know why. Like just like seeing like Kevin with like a big cart. I was like, dude, you like riding in pain. It was like, I don't know why I found it so funny. So Kevin, they K-Fob hurt, and it leads to the match, which the match itself was. We've seen Jay and Sami in so many matches, so it's always gonna be a good match.
Yeah, they're never gonna have a bad match.
It's just you know what to expect by now. Just two good workers who put out a good match.
And you know what? I don't mind Jay pulling out the win, but the reason why and who came back.
Well, first of all, I'm getting sick of Solo interfering with every match.
Yeah,
it's getting really old really quick. I mean, I don't like Solo keep taking my heart from all my favorites, like...
Yeah. And you can tell by the crowd reaction, too. Like, everybody's just getting tired of it.
But,
Then I think after the match we got into... Well, part of it before we had... I'm not even gonna mention his name,
the
came out.
The despicable return.
Yeah, but I thought it was, they're teasing that whole, bloodline breakup or not. Mm-hmm. And it was like, you remember when Solo was gonna do like the spike to Sami?
Yeah.
Jay did the same thing that he did like when he saved him a couple months ago.
Yep.
Like when
that was on that like Raw 25 or something.
Yeah, the trial.
Yeah,
the trial. Yeah, which was one of my favorite segments of all time.
Awesome.
Deserves an Emmy.
Yeah,
The
legitimately.
storyline deserves.
That was only a few months ago, and look at that! Look at the Raw we got.
Yeah.
Man, that's just horrible.
But then after that, they're Jay super kicks Sami. Then we're getting into that happening, and they get the chair.
I'm sick. This is the person who you come out and you're gonna insert this person into one of the best storylines in WWE history.
I hope not. I hope it's literally just like a.
No, it's not gonna be.
No,
it's not gonna be.
They're gonna have a 6-man tag at Backlash. It's gonna be the Usos and Solo against Kevin, Sami, and Riddle because they're the ones that hurt Riddle. So we're getting the whole Riddle thing, and
I don't understand how people like Riddle. I don't get it. He's a
horrible person.
He's a bad person. Just look it up.
Yeah.
If you think we're exaggerating, look at the stuff that he's done.
Yeah. But you know what I said? It's only because Vince is back and that he tolerates it. Like,
well,
I really don't think Triple H was planning to bring Riddle back.
Well,
yeah, they're similar people. They're similar people.
And listen, it's really hard to get me not to like kind of like a stoner gimmick, love RVD, but
birds of a feather. Vince loves Riddle. I wonder why.
I really think that's the only reason why he's back. And that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, and do you remember how sick we were getting of Riddle when he was on like every single show, like with him and Randy, like and we're getting that again where he's gonna be on every show again. Like it's been so nice not having him there.
I just don't understand the Riddle fascination, the love for Riddle. I'll never get it.
Know behind the scenes.
He's terrible. He's a bad person. His gimmick is. Like I said, his gimmick is just it's funny, and like you said, any other person doing that gimmick we would probably like.
Yeah.
But just him, no. So you know what? A very bad way to end a SmackDown.
Yeah.
Was SmackDown still better than Raw? Yes.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Yeah, but that was a horrible.
But that was the bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Especially because he's gonna be inserted into the bloodline now. Like why?
Why?
Don't ruin it.
Well, what I'm really hoping now, and this is just on SmackDown in general, is that this was definitely like a Triple H card. Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping they didn't do this just to placate the fans, saying, "Oh, you're gonna chant fire Vince McMahon. Well, we're gonna put on a Triple H show." And then kind of use that as an excuse to kind of let the heat die down, and then things go back to, we're gonna get Omos versus Elias this week, pal, or Omos versus Boogs this week, pal. Oh, we're gonna make it a handicap match, pal. I'm just hoping that they saw the reaction and they're like, all right, we have to start booking things. We can't have anything that happened on Raw.
And shout out to the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Always on the Blue Thunder Bomb. Don't worry, one of these days I'll get into my secondary finishers love, But yeah, SmackDown, what do you guys think as a whole?
I thought the matches themselves were 1,000 times better than what we got on Raw. We actually had some wrestling. I didn't like the opening and I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the opening in the sense that we had video packages starting at the first 10 minutes of the show when we only get a 2-hour show with commercials. Yeah. So there's not a lot of time. And I don't need to see this stuff that we've seen ad nauseum during WrestleMania and on Raw. I don't need to see this again. We've seen it already. But the matches themselves were, for the most part, good. Always good to see LA Knight and Damian Priest win. So yeah, this SmackDown was a lot better. I just wish Riddle didn't come out. Other than that, though, if Riddle didn't come out, this was actually a pretty good SmackDown overall.
Yeah, it was decent. I just again hate that ending.
Yeah,
makes me very angry.
I think it'll be telling on what we get on Monday. To see if they're gonna go back to what you were saying before with Vince writing in scripts and decisions. So
yeah, I mean they have to realize, and we'll get into that a little bit later, that Raw was easily the worst show of the past week since WrestleMania. Easily. What do you guys say? Want to jump into the random review?
Yeah.
All right, so we had Extreme Rules 2016, and once again, if you want to see kind of how we select these random reviews, it's fun. We have a nice wheel. Shout to you guys for making them. Mario, I remember you typing it. You were getting carpal tunnel typing all those things out.
And that is on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep, exactly. So definitely check that out.
YouTube Shorts too, which actually did very well.
Yeah.
Our wheel spin was our best video.
That's wild. A video of us spinning a wheel.
Because it adds suspense. People want to see what you land on.
Oh, yeah.
So I just want to start off by saying that I didn't even realize that we found a little bit later that there was a pre-show match, which probably would have been the best match on this card.
Yeah.
Of Corbin and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh.
I don't understand how those two don't make the card, but these two make the card who we're opening with.
I don't understand how people don't like Dolph Ziggler. Like, not even not like him.
Yeah.
They, like, hate him. Why? Please tell me. Please tell me. If you hate Dolph Ziggler, I don't know how you could. Please tell me why.
Yeah, you guys need to let us know, please, because we're trying to understand.
We don't understand.
I'll get to the list soon.
Oh yeah, guys, don't worry. We have a little bit of list about Dolph Ziggler, so don't worry. You guys will see that soon.
So we opened with a tag team match, which around that time and still to this day, I feel like every tag team match has the Usos in it. It's just, every match is just.
But not only that, they win. That's the thing. Like
well, listen. Surprisingly,
most of the time.
Surprisingly, they did not hear, and which is even more shocking, they lost to the Good Brothers.
Oh yeah,
Carl Anderson and Big LG.
Good old Big LG himself.
Tornado tag, which is
always love a tornado tag.
We don't get too many tornado tags anymore, so that was actually cool to see one.
No, we should get more. I agree. We should get more of them for sure.
So there was two big notes in this match. I'll get to the first one. You get to the second one.
Yep.
The first one was Carl Anderson had, I don't know if it was Jimmy or Jay on the ground. You know, you can't tell off the time. You know, when
especially then.
They both were like face paint and stuff. It's hard to tell the difference between the two. But he had one of them. He had one of them on the ground, and Carl Anderson was yelling, or I'm sorry, Big LG was yelling at Carl Anderson, "Get him up, get him up!" And then Carl Anderson just goes for the pin in his head. he's like, "Get him up, get him up!" Probably like to do a finisher or something. And Carl's like, "No, I'm good." He just goes for the pin instead.
To be fair, if Big LG told me to do something, I would do the same thing.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was good. Another thing I thought was really cool. They used a ring bell, which we don't really see the ring bell anymore. Very underused weapon. So seeing Big LG getting the ring bell in the action was pretty cool. And they actually used it. You know, they didn't smash him over the head with it, but one of the Usos did the splash, and then Big LG had the ring bell, hits him with the ring bell with the stomach, and then hits their magic killer finisher, which
is terrible finisher.
Not a great finisher. And yeah, I thought it was solid match.
But we spent too much time on this match already because I want to talk about the next match. Before I get into this one.
Oh yeah. Aim John, get us into this one.
So it was Jalisco versus Rusev for the U.S. title. You know what chant was running rampant at this time? Mm-hmm. What, did I say it wrong?
I might have mistyped that. Should be Kalisto. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry guys, that's on me. I typed it wrong. I was taking notes.
And that's not Amy's fault because she probably doesn't know who Kalisto is.
I know Kalisto.
No, that's on me. That's my bad, guys. We're all about accountability here.
Kalisto versus Rusev for the U.S. title. But anyway, you know what champ?
You know what? Jalisco, Kalisto, do I care either way? No, I don't.
I thought it was like a weird mix between Jericho and Kalisto. No. I was like...
No, do not associate Jericho with Kalisto.
Okay, but anyway,
shut up.
About the chant, you know what chant was running rampant at this time? The CM Punk, and we don't appreciate that during a Rusev match.
No, I just want to make note that I've watched a lot of wrestling, and I was definitely watching wrestling a lot during this time. I had no idea that Jalisco, which I'm going to start calling him now, that Jalisco ever actually won a title on the main roster.
Yeah, U.S. champ.
Which was shocking to me because he sucks. So I don't understand it. But more importantly, we got Mr. Machka.
Oh.
And he looked good. And like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Comes out all bewildered.
This was before Rusev Day, but every day is Rusev Day, even before Rusev Day.
I mean, we're recording this on Rusev Day, guys. Like, that's...
Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day.
So, Rusev won the match in a dominating fashion, as he should.
Yep.
Because I don't know what I would do if Rusev lost to Jalisco for the U.S. title.
Yeah. And that accolade he put in when he kind of like leans back and almost like sitting back, and that was great. And
shout out to Lana, too, for having really good taste in men.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, Rusev, Damian Priest.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
100%.
But there were, it was like I said, it was Rusev won definitively as he should.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after that match, we kind of get into the WWE Tag Title match We have the New Day. We love the New Day here. Love the New Day. I think we even said during the match, we're like, wow, we really missed the New Day. Like,
yeah.
But then they faced
the whole New Day
all together.
All three.
All together. I really don't like that Woods is the only one left, and he's by far the worst one of that.
Yeah.
Of that group.
I'm hoping Kofi's injury is good soon.
Yeah, I want to see Kofi.
We need some
I miss
Kofi.
Kofi.
Yeah, we need Kofi back up in here. But then we had the New Day facing the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch. Now,
such a boring gimmick.
Now listen,
it could have been cool. It wasn't.
I don't blame Aiden English for that because it's actually really cool that he can actually sing.
Yeah.
It's just it wasn't his fault that he's not to work with Simon Gotch, who's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. I loved Aiden English in NXT before the whole Vaudevillains thing, and then Aiden showed after Simon Gotch that he helped get Rusev Day over. Speaking of Rusev Day, he helped get Rusev Day over too, kind of with the announcing of it. So yeah, shout out to Aiden English, commentating over there on Impact Wrestling, fun stuff. But this match, what'd you guys think?
I mean, I think it was funny that Woods, what did he say, shoot my shot or something like that. Which, if you know. I'm not really gonna go into details, but
again,
that was really
internet.
Funny.
Yeah,
it's all over it.
And then once again, we have a Tim typo towards the end of the match. So we have Kofi gets involved. I typed Jody.
Shameless.
Well, listen. We were watching this after a long day. I was typing on my phone.
Yeah.
We were trying to watch the match.
Excuses.
Yeah, and I teach English too. That's the most wild part. But Kofi gets involved. Then we have Xavier Woods and Big E get the win. With Simon kind of running the Shining Wizard type move.
Yeah.
Overall,
the New Day can make anybody look good. They carried the match, but
fun match. I don't think we really need to spend too much time on it though.
No.
So we had an IC title match with Kevin Owens, The Miz, Cesaro, and
Sami
Zayn. I think it was just a fatal four-way.
Yep.
Just a fatal four-way match. No, I don't think there's any real stipulation to it besides that. The match itself was fine.
With Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you're a bad match.
Yeah, not the Miz.
Yeah.
I guess what was Lillian Garcia said Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did it very weird. It was either Lillian or I don't think it was Brandy. I think it was Lillian.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, she said Kevin Owens really weird.
Lillian's a terrible ring announcer. She's horrible.
No, put what you say. What you put.
All right. She said Kevin Owens weird as fuck.
Yeah.
She said it really, really, really freaking weird. It was really weird.
And we got the Blue Thunder Bomb again, which
love my secondary finishers.
So I think all the guys, all the guys in the match kind of put on their typical, signatures like the swing and Kevin Owens did the pump up power, Sammy did it, they all they all kind of showcased a little bit, so there's nothing really that noteworthy of what they did, but the outcome of this match was horrible.
Yeah, the Miz retained.
And because Sami Zayn wanted to get all distracted with Kevin Owens, and allow the Miz just to sneak up and retain the title, which
honestly is kind of funny how it kind of you can get this Sami Zayn Kevin Owens story way back then. If you really want to go back and say, oh yeah, the bickering and all that, they've had so many turns and partnerships.
They've been through so much together.
Yeah, and then just going back and kind of seeing, okay, pick a random pay-per-view during this time and you kind of find it. But yeah, solid match, right?
Just
pretty good match.
Yeah.
Who wants to get us in this next match?
That's all you.
All right, so we have a little bit of Chris Jericho action against Dean Ambrose in an Asylum match, which you guys want to talk about the Asylum match a little bit?
I thought that it's cool how they have the weapons hanging,
Yeah, I never seen anything like that.
That's more interesting than having to go underneath, and it was weird stuff too, a jacket and a flower pot or something.
Perry Saturn's mop.
Good old mop, little Perry Saturn action. There's a fire extinguisher, which you see once in a while, but
we have the elbow from the top of the cage.
That's always just so still impressive.
And I think most noteworthy was we had the thumbtacks, which was the first time since what, 97 or something like that. Was that the Mankind? Or
yeah, it was the first time. I remember they used them like with Randy Orton and Mick Foley in like 04, like when Mick Foley kind of came out of retirement. Yeah. But outside of that, I can't remember when else they've used them. It's always cool to see the thumbtacks. Have we seen them since?
Maybe. I don't know if they had some obscure show. I haven't don't remember seeing it.
No, just War Games on AEW. Or was it War Games?
No, War Games, no.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the Shark Cage.
AEW uses thumbtacks a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So you can't really even compare. Like that's kind of like a normal thing for them is like thumbtacks. But
so fun weapons used.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you have the Chris Jericho Lion Salt, which I love.
Oh, we always love the Lion Salt.
It was nice to see them climbing the cage and using the cage. Like, just the Hell in a Cell matches recently in the past few years have just been so boring. They barely climb the cage anymore. Did they start off on top of the cage too?
No, it was a steel cage match.
Oh.
Yeah, so the things were just hanging like on
like wires or something.
Which that was cool. I've never seen a match like that. I think that was the coolest part of the match was kind of all the weapons hanging. So
the powerbomb into the thumbtacks was pretty wild.
Yeah. The outcome was terrible, though.
Yeah.
Another terrible outcome.
Didn't you say that that thumbtack incident is what Jericho referenced?
Yeah.
List
yeah, if you watch if you watch like the list compilation video with Jericho,
he
references in Ambrose. He's like, oh, take me off the list. Like, take me off the list. You ripped up like a $15,000 jacket and threw me in thumbtacks.
Yeah.
I'm still taking them out.
Yeah, it's like I had to take out 97 from my back. Like, that's funny.
But yeah.
Liz Jericho's the best.
Screw Moxley.
Yeah, don't like Moxley.
Yeah.
You want to get us into this waste of time match, Amy?
Charlotte versus Natalya in a submission match.
It was.
All right. First of all, it's a submission match, so the match can only end by submission, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlotte reached for the ropes, grabbed the ropes, and the ref started counting a rope break. It's those small pet peeves that really piss me off. Like, it can't end in disqualification. Why would Natty just not just keep holding on to it? Like, why is the ref counting it? Like, I'm sorry, I just hate those little small things. I'm like, just make it make sense.
The match itself was really boring, but the most random, funniest thing I think of the whole night, definitely the whole night, was because there was stipulation where if Ric Flair comes out, that I think Charlotte like forfeits the title to Natalya. So Ric Flair's music starts playing, and somebody comes out dressed like him, in his like glittery robe, and they turn around, it's Dana Brooke, which is so random. Absolutely so random.
It sent me Dana Brooke doing the Ric Flair walk after the match. It sent me.
Push Dana Brooke?
Yeah.
You want to push Dana Brooke?
Yeah. Which I mean, listen, Dana Brooke's kind of a mean to it. That's not saying she doesn't work hard. She works hard.
Hey, she was like a 15-time 24/7 champion.
Well, I mean,
big accomplishment.
But I mean, why are they confiscating push Dana Brooke signs from Raw?
It's harmless.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen anyways.
Well, let them have her signs.
You can have 500 signs out there saying they're not pushing her, so it doesn't matter. Just let them have their signs. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, also she has a name. She has a match named after her. Like, come on. But yeah,
Charlotte wins.
Move on to the main event now.
Oh, and main event, it was for the WWE title. Shocker, who's champion?
Roman Reigns is champion.
Wow.
So much has changed in 7 years.
So if you think about it, Roman won. When did he win the Undisputed title? Like 2019?
I think 19. Yeah. It had to be 19. Summer of 19. I think like SummerSlam payback time because.
So Roman has been, you think about it, like champion since the last like 7 years, like a lot of the time for the last 7 years.
Think about where you were 7 years ago. I was still in my early 20s, ready, full of life, and
not anymore.
now look at us.
Well, first start off with the fact that Lillian is not even close to Samantha.
No.
I mean, just the way that Samantha announces Roman Reigns right now, like, they can't ever be compared.
Yeah.
I know we talk about Samantha a lot, but
I know you made a reference to like the bloodline before the bloodline.
Yeah, they kind of mentioned that twice. Like I think like Roman said like the bloodline is strong, and then Cole said during the match like it's about the bloodline, which
it's like an Easter egg.
Yeah, they weren't calling the bloodline yet, so it's kind of cool just to kind of have that little preview of the bloodline years before. Once again, and the Usos kind of were out there helping Roman because Styles had Big LG and Carl Anderson. But it was just really cool to kind of see, once again that, those small Easter eggs of the story. If you want to take it back to 2016 or 17, you can still take it back that far.
Yeah, and Cole mentioned it too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he mentioned all about the bloodline.
I mean, there were some cool spots in the match. The barricade being taken off.
Which we said never happens, and we've seen it in the only two pay-per-views we reviewed randomly. The barricade being taken off. Fighting on the pre-show set was pretty cool, I thought, too.
Yeah.
AJ Styles did, the phenomenal forearm from there.
Back body drop.
AJ Styles got height.
Yeah. To the table.
Yeah, that was...
I told you.
Superman punch while Styles was on the ropes was good.
Yup, that was really cool.
I did like the spear over the steps. I love that.
Yeah.
That Roman spearing Styles on the steps was awesome.
Roman has a great spear.
And that was like before Roman was actually good in the ring too. So that was it. Actually, Roman actually put on a pretty good match.
Yeah, he did.
He's always had a great
He
spear.
did. He kicked out of it first Styles Clash, and then kicks out of a second Styles Clash on a chair, which I wasn't a fan of. As somebody, I used to watch TNA a lot, Styles Clash was always a protected move. On a chair, he's kicking out.
Actually, too, the Styles Clash recently, if you've noticed, it gets countered constantly now, too.
Yeah.
You barely see him actually hit that move. That's a great finisher, too.
Yeah, I don't know the last time he's won a match with that move. It's become like a zigzag with Dolph Ziggler.
Because AJ Styles actually has a very good moveset. I love the calf crusher.
Calf crusher, the phenomenal forearm.
And the Styles Clash are all awesome.
Yeah.
moves.
And then he's even got one he uses once or twice in WWE, a spiral tap. It's basically just he spins 360 degrees. Wild move.
I mean, I hope we get AJ Styles back. I just don't want him back with Big LG and Carl Anderson.
No, please don't. He's good enough solo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Freaking Solo. We hate Solo. Yeah.
But, of course, the Tribal Chief wins. Which, these days, I got no problem with that. But back then, I probably would have been a little pissed off because I don't think I liked Roman as much back then as I do now.
No, he was still
Not
getting
people
booed by
did.
the crowd at this point.
Well, that's because, that was back then. We could only do 3 moves.
Yeah.
His
moveset
was very limited.
Weren't they doing You Can't Wrestle chants?
Yeah.
They were doing You Can't Wrestle chants.
Which back then, like I said, was true. But, man, if you look at him now, he's put in the work.
Oh, yeah.
Because he puts on 30, 35, 40, 40-minute matches that are awesome.
Main event WrestleMania matches.
And he's not carrying those matches. He's an equal part in them too.
Yeah.
It's not like he's in there with Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan's carrying him to a good match. No, Roman's
he holds
pulling his own weight.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I mean, overall, what do we think of the pay-per-view?
I enjoyed it. Going into it, show the previews, I'm like, it's not going to be good, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah, I thought there were some really fun matches. There was some unique stuff. There was definitely some low lights, but I thought it was very unique. And no, I just thought it was a good time. How about you guys?
I would give it a solid 7.
That was what I was kind of thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6, 7. I think for the most part, all the matches were pretty good except for the submission match.
Yeah.
The stipulations were definitely the best part of this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because the matches, some of the matches on paper aren't really, would I really be that excited about the New Day versus the Vaudevillains, really? But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we spent too much time on that pay-per-view, to be honest, anyway. So let's just recap the week. NXT was a lot better than Monday Night Raw, and the most notable thing being we get a Braun Breaker heel turn. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was not expecting that.
He's got that dog in him.
What the hell are you talking about? That's from the Braun promo with Jinder, and
brings up gets a 3MB chant started.
Oh yeah, Braun. Whenever you get a 3MB chant started with us, Braun Breaker, you're good people. AEW was pretty noteworthy, huh? They were Tony Khan saw Monday Night Raw, and he's like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
Within the first minute, you get Jay White coming out. Which, you know, I don't know how true it was that WWE was like kind of half in on him or not, but that's a huge get.
No, I read earlier today that they were so confident like 2 weeks ago they had creative plans for him already. And then I read that he kind of, as soon as he heard Vince was kind of weaseling his way back in more, he's like, I'm good.
You deserve what you get, WWE, for allowing this decrepit old man to come back and take charge.
And hey, we might be talking a lot more about AEW. I mean, they put on a great show. You know, when they were like, all right, you know, Raw put on a bad show, we're gonna go out there and put on a good one, and they did.
Guys, we need an MJF musical.
That was
full one.
That was funny.
That was a great segment.
MJF's a man of many talents.
He can do anything. Yeah.
Now he's definitely not leaving AEW in January of 2024 when his contract's up.
Yep, and then I honestly think that could have changed the main event to the FTR versus the Guns, which was a good match.
It was solid. Yeah.
Yo, the Guns entrance was wild. That was a good entrance.
Yeah, I don't mind the Guns that much.
No, they're solid.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
I am curious though too if FTR was planning on losing and going to WWE if Hunter was still in charge and not the decrepit old POS.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon.
Yep. But let's get to the biggest news from this week.
So there are reports that Mr. Drew McIntyre is not happy with his creative and the money that he's being offered, which this man should be getting a blank check.
Yeah.
First off.
Mm-hmm.
First off.
What more could you want in a superstar? What more? And
you know what? I mean, if you really think, you know, you're okay with letting him go and being, we're not gonna meet you halfway. You know, we're not gonna, you know, which they shouldn't even have to meet him halfway. They should give him what he wants anyways.
Yes.
Just like Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think.
Do you know what it is? It was Sasha, Bayley, and Drew carried them through the pandemic when there were no fans. The hardest time in wrestling ever. And how do they repay them?
Tim always has to sneak. You have to sneak in your little Bayley thing constantly. I don't want to hear it.
I need to catch that one.
Anyway.
but no. Back to the moral of the story. They carried them through the pandemic. And where's the thank you? Where's the thank you?
I don't understand how they don't think that Sasha's like a main eventer or that she's on the same level as Becky. Yeah. That blows my mind. What do you mean?
And then
she's one of the most popular super divas.
And then Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, same thing.
And you know what? I don't blame him, you know, for the way he's kind of going creative wise because his storyline with Sheamus and it's fine, but I mean.
No, they're wasting Drew and Sheamus.
No, listen, I understand, you know, and he's making it work, but like, where's he gonna go from there? It just kind of feels like he's just kind of spinning in spinning kind of in a circle here.
He's basically done that since War Games.
Yeah, and it's, you know, when's he gonna get his rematch?
He's not.
He's not.
First of all, he should have beaten your little tribal chief at Clash of the Castle.
I agree.
And that was.
I agree.
Just taking that moment away from Drew McIntyre is sickening. This man carried them through the pandemic, didn't get his win with fans. Where's his title reign with fans? Where is it?
It's not happening. And you know what? They're gonna let him go. Tony Khan is gonna call him up the next day, offer him
I hope so.
an insane amount of money, and if you know when they're hosting that show,
Wembley, all in,
that Tony announced, and if you have that event and you have a surprise Drew McIntyre showing up as Drew Galloway, that would be one of the biggest moments in wrestling history.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be a move that could potentially start making
AEW
start getting closer
to
even with WWE.
But if Mr. Khan's gonna get Drew, then he needs to get the rights to Broken Dreams too.
Well, Tony Khan, if you're one of the 30 people that are gonna watch this, I'm telling you right now, if you pull off and get Drew Galloway there, then you've got our money for pay-per-views. We will pay your $50 pay-per-views if you get Drew McIntyre there and push him in a meaningful way.
Yes.
That's all we want. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I think we talked about Drew. Well, actually, we can talk about Drew forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's never too much talk of Drew. I mean.
But I think this has gone on, kind of a long time. So I think we should start wrapping this up.
Yep. So definitely make sure to check out the audio on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or the podcast on YouTube. And also, check out the Twitter, all the other socials that I mentioned earlier. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Send us an email at tappinoutshow@gmail.com for any quizzes, any random pay-per-view views you want us to watch, anything like that.
All right. What do you guys say?
Are we tapping out? You love when I do that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.